When you zoom in on Google Earth from above, every reef looks the same. There's peace, calmness, and an abundance of beauty surrounding them, attracting humans from all over the world. For centuries, sailors saw them as signs of life. Their boats cut through the vast sea. They sail in water all alone for days, and sometimes for months. When endless water starts depressing them, their eyes land on a ring of turquoise water. Finally, a land is there. They can now rest and enjoy the beauties of life on a reef. But every reef is not a symbol of life. A few are symbols of death. They invite you in, but as soon as you step onto them, they take away your life, peace, or health in the most brutal way. Today, I'll discuss the 9 deadliest reefs that every human should avoid at all costs. You'll be shocked by the 5th one. So, stay with me until the end. Let's imagine you're on a boat and sailing almost 35 kilometers off the coast of Sao Paulo, Brazil. The water is blue, the sun is bright, and your eyes caught the beauty. An island rises from the ocean, inviting you in. Snake Island is full of lush green forests and rocky terrain, giving the vibes of a paradise on Earth. Peace, calmness, and nature's beauty are at their peak here. Your heart will demand that you explore this beauty, but stepping into this forbidden paradise can instantly kill you. As soon as you land on the island, golden lancehead vipers will become alert. Their eyes will detect your movement from their hidden places. You will not see them, but they can see you. A small innocent movement of yours towards their hiding place, and they'll bite you without any hesitation. These snake species are nowhere else on Earth, and their bite is so venomous that it can kill any human within seconds. You can't avoid their bite, as one snake is per square meter in some areas. So, within a few moments, you could become the victim of multiple snake bites. The island's remote, so no one will come for your help. You'll suffer with the pain all alone with venomous snakes around your body. They bite humans until they don't kill them. In history, a few people thought they could survive Snake Island. One of them was the last lighthouse keeper of this place. He and his family became the residents of this paradise in the 1900s. They made their home, dreamed of raising children in this peaceful reef, and lived on the island with full freedom. But one night, snakes sneaked into their sanctuary as evil beings. The family was peacefully sleeping when snakes bit them, ending their lives. Since then, the Brazilian Navy has prohibited access to Snake Island. It's been more than 100 years since this island was restricted to the public. Now, let's leave Snake Island and sail toward Belize City, which has one of the world's most beautiful and extremely dangerous scuba diving places. If you take your boat 70 kilometers off the coast of Belize City, you'll find a near-perfect circle cutting into the ocean. From the outside, the circle is a dreamy place, but from inside, it's a slow, suffocating death trap. This deadly beauty is within the Lighthouse Reef Atoll and is known as a blue hole, a massive, circular, and underwater sinkhole. Contrary to Snake Island, divers regularly visit this place. 2 boats drive divers there every day. It's a UNESCO heritage site that's on the bucket list of almost every diving lover. But nature plays twisted games with these divers, sometimes taking their lives. If you stand on the edge of Blue Hole, its dark and deep blue waters will feel inviting. Surrounding coral reefs and submerged limestone stalactites will take your breath away. Its 100 feet width and 400 feet depth make it a thrilling and unique sight in the vast ocean. You take your diving equipment and do a rapid, high adrenaline descent into a massive, dark abyss. The first seconds are always calm. Cool water wraps around the body. Bubbles rush upward in a steady stream. Sunlight dances above. But then, the reef disappears within seconds. Unlike other reef diving, it will not gradually go down. In fact, there will be a sudden vertical drop. It's so sudden that if you're not careful, the water can become your grave. Sunlight will be gone. Bright colors will vanish, and even the bright blue color will also leave you alone. And there will be nothing but a gray world all around you. Some divers don't even realize they've stepped into the danger zone. They keep descending, and after 40 meters, the world changes for them. At this depth, the pressure is unbearable, more than 4 times what it is at the surface. Here, something subtle will begin to happen inside the body. First of all, nitrogen will betray you. The same gas you breathe every second on the land will dissolve into your bloodstream under pressure. Gradually, your mind will drift, and you'll forget to check the oxygen. Divers call it the martini effect, because it feels like being drunk. The cruel ocean will take advantage of your drunk brain and will start building pressure on your body. The water will press your body, making it heavy. Eventually, you'll start descending at full speed into the endless bottom of the blue hole. Numerous divers panic at this stage, forgetting all their training. They use their muscles without thinking, consuming more oxygen than necessary. Their brains shout at them to go upward as soon as possible, but the merciless hole doesn't allow it. At this point, bubbles form in their blood, restricting the circulation in the body. Eventually, the brain and organs shut down. Divers call it decompression sickness. The body is dying here, going further down into the hole. Below roughly 90 meters, the world changes again. Now, the water is a thick, cloudy layer without any oxygen. The toxic hydrogen sulfide is here. The toxic gas goes into the body and ultimately kills the diver. No doubt death in Blue Hole is terrifying, but death in Teahupo'o is extremely painful. Located off the southern coast of Tahiti, Teahupo'o looks calm and distant from the shore. It's a narrow strip of land where the jungle meets the sea. When you step on this narrow land, everything feels calm. Small houses, refreshing air, and a peaceful lagoon stretching towards the horizon. You stand on the shore, ready to dive into the calm and peaceful ocean. The water's still, clean, and cool, but it's unpredictable too. The shape of the seabed changes everything. It sits nearly 90 meters deep. Then, within a short distance, it rises sharply to just half a meter below the surface. This sudden invisible wall makes the ocean waves terrifying. When powerful swells from the Pacific Ocean arrive, all the energy is forced upward. There's no space for waves to spread out, nor does it have a gentle slope to absorb them. So, the wave does something extremely unnatural. It folds over itself instead of rising smoothly. It creates a lip so heavy that divers described it as a hard wall falling from above. This hard wall initiates a chain of cruel moments that mostly end with death. This chain usually begins with the fall. You stand on the shore, get excited after seeing the calm waters, and dive into them with a smile. But you misjudge the time. After just a few calm moments, the lip forms in the water and crashes into you as a wall. This will happen so violently and suddenly that you'll never get a moment to recover. Some divers experience a concussion or break bones on impact. And just like in Blue Hole, the body is pulled down. But unlike in Blue Hole, the body will not peacefully sink into the deep water. It'll be dragged over the unforgiving surface of the reef. The wave takes the diver straight onto the reef. The sharp and uneven coral sits just beneath the surface. A direct hit can cause deep lacerations, fractures, or spinal injuries. Even a glancing contact can slice through skin. In some cases, surfers are momentarily pinned by the force of the wave. But the most dangerous part comes next. The water doesn't calm down. The first wave pulls everything backwards, sucking the surfer into turbulent water. Initially, you will not be able to find the direction. You will look around, try to make sense of everything, and at last start moving toward the surface. But another brutal wave arrives. It again pulls you downward with force, making it impossible to reach the surface. Surfers call it a hold down moment. This can last for several seconds if more waves keep coming on your way. During that time, your body is tumbling, disoriented, and running out of air. Eventually, you'll panic. Breathing reflexes kick in. But there's nothing to breathe. The urge to inhale becomes overwhelming. If a diver's unconscious or injured here, his chances of coming out alive are quite thin. But if a diver remains calm and patient, they can find a brief window to escape the brutal waves. This unpredictable ocean, makes Teahupo'o so dangerous that it has specific no-go areas. The government only allows advanced divers to visit this place. But even after all these precautions, we hear news of multiple deaths or of serious accidents on this reef. If this deep dive into forbidden and dangerous reefs on the planet excites you, consider subscribing to our channel. Your support will tell YouTube that it's not creepy content, but something people should know about. Now, we're getting into the ocean that burned. If you take your boat nearly 4,800 kilometers southwest of Honolulu, in the middle of the Pacific, you'll find a reef that should have disappeared. Bikini Atoll is an idyllic Pacific paradise with clean water and calm waves. If you dive in this cool water, you'll see vibrant and healthy coral communities. Some corals are as large as cars, providing a unique sight to divers. Not only this, lagoons are teeming with schools of fish, including sharks and snappers. Gray reef and blacktip sharks add to the beauty and elegance of the reef. But the natural corals are not the only thing in this marine ecosystem. If you dive a bit further into the water, you will see metal. A large amount of metal is scattered into the ecosystem, converting into massive artificial reefs. This is not an ordinary metal, but they're different radioactive shipwrecks. Their decks and hulls are covered with colorful, soft, and hard corals, sea whip corals, and anemones. Today, this metal looks beautiful, but its history is lethal and disturbing. The US conducted 23 nuclear tests between 1946 and 1958 on this coral reef, turning this paradise into a nuclear wasteland. Shipwrecks settled in the depths of the ocean, ruining coral reefs and their species. Natives left the place and never returned. 3 islands were vaporized in the 1954 experiment, leaving a 2-kilometer-wide crater in the coral. And radionuclides become a permanent part of the soil and water of this marine ecosystem. You're diving in the clean water of Bikini Atoll. You're getting mesmerized by the beauty of this area and visiting the historical nuclear wreckage of the US. Apparently, you're enjoying it. But inside your body, your cells and organs are suffering from cesium-137. With every breath and touch, you're consuming different radionuclides. If you remain in this paradise for a brief time, this consumption might do nothing to your health. But if you linger for a longer time, radionuclides will slowly impact your health. In normal cases, you'll get nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, and headache. But in extreme cases, divers may suffer from cancer or internal bleeding. Eating local food on this reef is prohibited, and lingering here for longer is also a crime. No one stops you from visiting this memorial land. You can always go and see the stubborn ecosystem that grows back after the disastrous nuclear experiments. But you're only allowed a few moments in this ecosystem because staying long has extreme consequences. Now, it's time for the shocking and interesting 5th coral reef. Let's suppose you take your boat toward the middle of the Bay of Bengal in India. If you sail 50 kilometers west of Port Blair, you'll see North Sentinel Island. From a distance, this tropical destination looks untouched. Dense, lush green forests and turquoise blue water will mesmerize you. You will itch to walk every inch of the pristine, white sandy beaches of this island. Getting overwhelmed with its untouched beauty, you sail near the land. But a barrier will slow you down from reaching this otherworldly beauty. Vibrant coral reefs are around the island. Water is shallow here, and sharp coral formations sit just beneath the surface. They force the boats to slow down, exposing them to the danger residing on the island. The last untouched human group in the world lives in Sentinel Island. They've lived here for thousands of years, completely isolating them from modern civilization. Their language, their social ethics, and their world are completely unknown to everyone. They don't understand us, and we can't understand them. So, whoever tries to approach their island is a threat to them. When coral reefs slow down a boat in the shallow waters of the Andaman Sea, the Sentinelese become alert. They take out their arrows or spears and attack the boat without any second thought. They can also directly attack the boat by jumping into it. The person on the boat is now stuck. The merciless coral reef initially exposes him, and now it's making the escape nearly impossible. Sharp, narrow corals are damaging the hull of the boat. and the narrow waters have slowed down its progress. No rescue team can come here for help. No one can save the boat owner from getting killed or injured at the hands of the Sentinelese. In January 2006, Sundar Raj and Pandit Tiwari were sailing their boat in this area to catch mud crabs. It was nighttime when both fishermen decided to sleep in the boat. They were peacefully enjoying their dreams when their boat drifted toward the merciless coral reef. Both fishermen kept sleeping, but the Sentinelese were awake. A week after this incident, the Indian government found their bodies hooked on bamboo stakes on this island, facing the sea. The bodies were acting like a scarecrow to warn others away. When rescue teams tried to take off their bodies, they were met with hostility from the natives. It was so severe that they left bodies over there. Due to such incidents, the Indian government legally restricted this area. No one's allowed within 5 nautical miles. No one's allowed near the coral reef that exposes and slows down boats for the Sentinelese. You could see this innocent coral reef on Google Maps. You could see it from a distance in the sea, but you never know the danger lying just behind it. That's why we aim to talk about every forbidden place present on Earth on our channel. Share this video with divers or travel enthusiasts to warn them about these dangers, and hit the like button so the YouTube algorithm pushes it to more people. Now, we're going toward the beauty that can kill. If you open Google Earth and zoom in on Australia, you will see a living painting on its northeast coast. And if you sail your boat toward this coast, you'll see Earth's largest coral reef system. Every noise of the world disappears as your eyes take in nature's beauty. In the Great Barrier Reef, beauty not only exists, but it surrounds you. Sunlight falls onto the blue water, enhancing its shine. The light illuminates the layered coral formations. They stretch as far as your eyes can see. Some corals resemble giant brains. Some spread out like delicate fans, and some rise like towers. They're filled with colors and are pulsing with life. Calm and unique species reside in these corals, making the whole diving experience serene. But beneath this serene beauty, there is a lethal danger. Imagine you dive into the warm tropical water, getting distracted by the colorful and innocent corals. You kick gently and feel something brush against your leg. You dismiss it until you feel the pain. Instant and violent pain grabs your body. You feel like your skin is on fire. The heartbeat will rise, and you'll find it difficult to breathe. Within seconds, the body will shut down. But what happened here? An invisible but venomous box jellyfish stings you. They're the most venomous marine animal in the world that primarily inhabit shallow coastal waters and river mouths along northern Australia. This invisible creature carries enough venom to kill almost 60 people. Its tentacles can reach up to 3 meters and are lined with millions of microscopic stinging cells. But these are not the only venomous creatures in the Great Barrier Reef. While swimming, you may notice a flash of color between the rocks. It's so beautiful that you inch closer to it. The ball will glow in marvelous blue color, making it harder for you to resist it. But in reality, the blue-ringed octopus is warning you to stay away from it. When you touch it, you'll feel nothing. Its bite is painless, but it is 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide. Within minutes, the victim's muscles will stop working. His chest will tighten, and breathing will become difficult. If the victim doesn't get immediate first aid care, they will die. Stonefishes are equally dangerous. They look like rocks, but as soon as you touch them, their sting will inject venom into your bloodstream. This venom will weaken your muscles, make breathing difficult, and you'll ultimately lose control of your body. These lethal creatures are in specific parts of the Great Barrier Reef. For human safety, the government strictly enforced the rule of no touching here. You need to take proper precautionary steps and follow several rules to remain safe in this dangerous reef. Now, let's leave this forbidden beauty behind and move into the black, silty hole of death. If you sail toward the Gulf of Thailand, you'll find Samae San Island. On Google Earth, it's a bright blue icon as its vibrant waters are famous among divers and swimmers. But in the bright blue water, there's a hole that's way more dangerous than the blue hole. Samae San Hole has all the danger you can imagine. It's the deepest spot in Thailand, plunging between 85 and 100 meters. Natural sunlight barely reaches past 60 meters, leaving the bottom in endless inky darkness. When a diver dives into this hole, they feel excited to explore its deepest bottom. Until almost 30 meters, the sunlight illuminates everything, keeping the world vibrant and open for the diver. But then, the sunlight starts fading. By 60 meters, it completely vanishes, leaving the world as dark as death. The diver switches on the flashlight, but even the strongest flashlight can't illuminate this dark area. You can't see clearly here. You don't know if you're sinking or moving in the right direction. This makes the diver panic, but he keeps diving further down into the hole. At 85 to 100 meters, the pressure becomes overwhelming. Just like in the blue hole, nitrogen starts acting weirdly here, too. Breathing feels heavier, and the brain is foggy. The diver's unable to make quick decisions that can lead to life-threatening situations. They may stop calculating time, depth, and the amount of oxygen they have. Here, the currents are strong, pulling the diver downward with full force. They feel like they're getting sucked into the hole. This pressure increases his fear. The bottom of the hole contains unexploded bombs and munitions for military dumping. The diver can't touch this military equipment. Otherwise, the result will be catastrophic. Here, the diver is dying inside with fear. His brain is foggy, the currents are strong, and the bottom has unexploded radioactive equipment. At last, the diver pushes through the currents and begins ascending toward the surface. He sighs with relief while moving upward. But the danger hasn't ended here. Samae San Hole is in a major shipping lane. Massive oil tankers pass through it. If a swimmer's in the hole and an oil tanker passes overhead, this adds to the anxiety of the swimmer. He could feel the deep, low-frequency thrum of the engine through the waves. Knowing a ship's hull can reach down into your safety stop depth can make the diving experience more difficult and bitter. Due to all these dangers, recreational diving is not permitted here. The island's under the jurisdiction of the Royal Thai Navy and is primarily used as a passing-out dive test for elite technical students. Now, let's leave this dangerous hole behind and move back to Bikini Atoll. If you sail for roughly 300 kilometers toward the west, you'll find another reef that carries a different kind of threat. This threat makes the reef a forbidden place to live. Enewetak Atoll is a calm, thriving coral reef that has numerous islands. The marine ecosystem is thriving here. Various unique species live here, and the vibrant water calms you down. But one of its islands contains a dangerous thing that should not be here. A massive concrete dome is on the island, containing more than 80,000 cubic meters of radioactive waste. The US conducted 43 nuclear tests here, changing the structure of the reef permanently. If you get near the dome, you'll notice its structure is cracking. The ocean waves seep through the cracks of the dome, getting intoxicated with cesium-137, plutonium-238, and americium-241. These waves are weakening the dome, threatening its stability. The dome can fall at any moment, and when it happens, the island will become almost unbearable to visit. If you stay in these waters or breathe in this coral reef for long, you'll inhale large amounts of radioactive gases. These gases can mess with your health, leading you toward life-threatening diseases. That's why the government doesn't allow casual visitors to visit this place. You need special permission to step on this forbidden coral reef. In the end, we're going to explore a mysterious structure beneath the reef that no one has ever explored. If you open Google Earth and zoom toward the western edge of Japan, close to Taiwan, you'll find Yonaguni Island. This reef has something beneath it that the world is unsure about. They call it the Yonaguni Monument. It's a massive underwater rock formation that's flat, sharp, and has terrace-like structures. There are numerous steps in it, and it feels like an artificial structure. Maybe ancient people have built something that's buried here. Or maybe it's a unique natural structure that we've yet to explore. Surfers succeed in reaching this monument, but they fail to explore it. Whenever they reach the monument, strong shifting currents sweep them away. They call it kamikaze currents. In spring and summer, these currents restrict the movements of explorers, and in winter, strong winds make sailing the boat impossible. So scientists and archaeologists can't claim anything about this structure. In all these 9 cases, the reefs are unforgiving to all those who step into them. They either take intruders' lives or health while sustaining their mysteries. Sailing in the ocean or staring at the Google map will only tell you about the beauties of these reefs, but will not disclose their dangers. If you want more forbidden stuff, it's in the playlist. See you there.